Well, hey, y'all. Welcome. Hello. My name's Bendy, Bendy Mitchell, also known as Bendy Dinosaurs, and I'm here with the illustrious crew of Obsidian Brews. We are OB, a black tabletop experience, looking to get more seats at tables for folks who look a lot like us and give opportunities and sustainable resources for the black tabletop community. I will let my folks go around and introduce themselves, but before we get started, just know that this is KULT Divinity Lost. It is the final chapter in our 3-chapter game. We did take a little bit of a hiatus, but we are back to finish it off. KULT itself has several trigger warnings. Just be warned that this game is rated TVMA. I'll go over the ratings after everyone introduces who they are, and we can talk about what has happened up until now. So I'm going to go around starting with Tranquil.
Yo, so Tranquil Ash is here. It's been a while, y'all. It's nice to be back and getting into the spooky stuff as we like to do here. I guess just as a little refresher, I am playing the mayor of this lovely town. Billy is my character's name. And from what I understand, I'm going to be walking into a whole heap of trouble. But once we start this game, and I'm excited to get into it.
Fantastic. Coming around to Resmonk.
Hey, what's up? Resmonk here. My character is Hercule Mahomes. It's glad to be back. Hopefully you guys get to see more of our upcoming adventures and games. Glad to be back. That's all I got. I'll pass it on. So.
And last but certainly not least, our Mad Dr. Rob.
Hi, Robert Madison II, also known as Mad Dr. Rob on the Everywheres. I will be playing your former father, Marcus Hill. He's seen way too much, and this is tiresome for him. We'll just see how this goes, but we do thank you all adventurers for joining us. This is going to be a ride, and it's the finale, so you know it's about to get yeah.
The heat will be increased. Alrighty. I'm just making sure everything on my screen is looking ship shape. Alright, so KULT Divinity Lost, essentially, the world around us is a lie. Mankind is trapped in an illusion, held captive by our prisoners. We cannot see the great citadels of Metropolis towering over our highest skyscrapers. We cannot hear the screams from the cellar hidden stairs take us to. Sorry, my words are a little wonky getting started here. I'm gonna keep going. But essentially, the world we live in is a lie. And this world that our characters find themselves in, what they believe to be Philadelphia in 1994. We are dealing with a crisis in the city. There's crime, homelessness, and vast hordes of children just on the streets with nowhere to go, no one to be with. There's something strange happening in the city, and some believe that it all stems from an abandoned asylum just outside of town. That is the main source of contention among the civilians. As we meet our characters, we know that Father Marcus, or former Father Marcus, used to be one of the parishioners at Pennhurst back when the doors were open. And during our last few episodes, you've been experiencing things that have been calling you back to Pennhurst. Strange visitations from folks long since dead. Meetings with former nuns, a Sister Delaney who used to work with you in the halls of the asylum, who inexplicably took her own life. Detective Hercule Mahomes. You are a legacy to detectives in Philadelphia. Your father strangely disappeared while investigating, obsessed even about what went on at the asylum before the doors closed. As you've returned to Philadelphia, a string of murders. Unfortunately, children have been taken in Philly, something that seems eerily similar to cases long since past that your father and a friend of his, Detective Somerset, who you ran into during episode 2, know about, and their relations to similar murders in the past. But this person you know as the Kensington Kiddie Killer is striking over and over, and there is a weird, strange pattern to it. Children's bodies being left outside church doors. What is the symbolism? And you, Mayor Billy Robinson, struggling to maintain your mayoral seat while your rival, Quinn Kilbride, who has strange ties to Pennhurst, keeps trying to take it from you. While dealing with all of these issues in the mayoral office, you're dealing with issues at home. Your daughter, April, who is a spitting image of you at her age, 9, I believe it was, keeps wandering off in the middle of the night, though it seems as though someone is leading her through the woods behind your house up till Crab Hill, what is also known as Pennhurst. You do believe that it has something to do with an imaginary friend of yours from your youth when you were about her age, and she is exhibiting the same signs. Have I covered most of everything? Crew? Please
Yeah,
know.
I think that does it.
Yeah, please know that as I've mentioned some of the sticky situations and themes that we're going to be dealing with, KULT Divinity Lost features a vast array of unsettling themes. The ones that we will be tackling tonight will be mainly focused around abuse of both children and the elderly, possible animal abuse, gore, violence, bodily harm, the type of terrifying things that happen to you in the dark. So, are we ready to continue?
Yes.
Let us begin with you, Billy. It's evening of the town hall meeting that will decide the fate of Pennhurst Asylum. Will the chamber tear it down or preserve it? You've pulled up out back of the town hall. April's in the back seat. Your beloved dog, I cannot remember, what name did you choose for your dog? You can totally come up with a new one now, don't matter.
The dog's name will be Candy.
Candy? I love it. What kind of dog is Candy?
Candy is a terrier whippet greyhound mix.
Ooh, okay. So a pretty small to medium-sized dog.
Mhm.
Probably hanging out in your bag next to you.
Yeah.
April's in the back seat. She's kind of like got her finger on the window. It's lightly raining, so there's a little bit of like a mist, and she's drawing on the window. What is going on in your mind?
I'm still very troubled about April just walking to Pennhurst. And I'm also thinking, what is Quinn gonna say? That's mostly what's on my mind.
Okay. As you're contemplating and taking a moment to really think about this before entering, I want you to do me a favor. Within your... Hello. I'm looking at your character sheet. And I would like for you to make a roll for me as you're sitting here for us to see what kicks off.
Okay.
Give me a flat 2d10 roll.
Okay. $11.
At an 11.
Mm-hmm.
You're contemplating this, and a strange feeling overtakes you. It's the same feeling that the sensation that you get every time you end up back at Pennhurst escorting a confused and terrified April home. It's the same feeling you get when you're alone at night, unable to sleep, staring at the shadows about your room. It's an icky feeling, and it feels like the corners, like the edges of your vision are darkening. It's a similar feeling to what you would get as a child when your imaginary friend would get angry with you.
I was just shaking my head. I don't have time to focus on this. It's over. It's over. I must win my seat and get rid of that damned hospital.
You hear that loud banging on your window next to you. And you see the face of Quinn. A mischievous Cheshire cat-like grin on his face as he's like trying to usher you out of the car. Give me another flat D10 roll.
14.
14. He sees this look on your face, and it almost feels like he can sense this sensation that you have, and that he's delighting in your current state as he's looking down at you. You hear him say, "Come on, Billy. Why don't we go have a chat?"
First of all, Quinn, back up.
Raises his hands. "Come now, Billy. You know I mean you no harm. Why don't you and I just have a conversation out back here before any other prying voices or eyes come around?"
So I can go missing too, huh?
Now, you know those were just allegations.
Allegations? Where are they then, Quinn?
Where's who?
Exactly.
Billy, I'm not going to have this conversation here, especially right in front of your daughter. Sal, you need to do the right thing and be a mother and a mayor. Step out of the car. And he turns his attention to April in the back seat and gives her a little...
It takes everything in me not to quickly open the car door and slam every part of his lower regions with that car door. But I look back at April. You okay?
And give me a... Okay, so first, before you ask if she's okay, give me a 2d10 plus your coolness. And your coolness is...
3. 15.
A 15. Okay. You're able to hold back. Like, you go to open the car door, but you stop yourself. And you look back to ask April if she's okay. And you see her legs are kicking back and forth, excited. And she's waving very excitedly to Quinn, as if she knows him.
April?
Yeah?
Why are you waving at him?
Well, 'cause he's the one who helps me.
Helps you do what?
Get back home, those... Oh, I wasn't supposed to say anything. Sometimes when I wake up at that big old scary place, sometimes Mr. Quinn helps me back to the house before you wake up.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And nothing has happened? He's been kind to you?
Yeah, he's really nice. He always makes sure to hold my hand or carry me, back if it's really wet and mucky out. He keeps the other bad people at bay when I wake up there.
Did he give you a name?
Him?
Yes.
Well, he goes by Mr. Quinn. But I heard one of the other kids that was there, she called him the gangly man. But I don't see anything gangly about him.
Of course not. Mm.
Mommy, are you mad?
Oh no, not at all, darling. Not at all.
He told me not to tell you because you two don't like each other so much at work, but he told me that you're really, you were a lot like me at your age, when you were my age. So that's why he helps me. And Quinn is still kind of like leaned up against the car. At this point, he's like leaned up against the front of the vehicle in front of your mirror, and he's lit up a cigarette, and he's just waiting for you to get out of the car. Mommy, are you okay?
Yeah. Is Gwen anywhere around, the secretary?
Give me a observe a situation, so a 2d10 plus your perception.
19.
Woo! Okay. Yeah. Through the rain, as it's getting heavier, you can see her like running up the ramp, like towards the front. So she's already going in the building, but you are kind of parked in the back. So there's no way for her to really, like, she's already run so fast into the building to avoid the rain that she probably didn't even notice you were there.
Gotcha. Okay. So I turn back to April. I'm like, honey, make sure you take Candy, and you see Gwen over there running in. Make sure you go find her, and make sure you keep the puppy out of the rain.
Okay, you got it. Can I ask, can I ask her if she can get me something from the vending machine?
Absolutely. You deserve it.
Okay, cool. Okay, come on, Candy. And she scoops up the dog, and she hops out of the back seat, and give me a read a person, roll plus intuition, to see how Quinn reacts to her getting out of the car.
16.
Okay. You notice as she hops out, she gives a little hi as she runs in to keep Candy safe from the rain. You see him lick his lips in kind of a, like, how someone does when they're hungry. And he just kind of, and then slowly turns his head to the side to look back at you in the vehicle and kind of gives a, well?
So, I go ahead and get out that car.
Okay.
You said you wanted to have a chat, right?
Oh, yeah. Why don't we step over yonder underneath the awning over here? How you doing this morning, Billy?
Better.
Well, evening. I'm sorry. It's evening. It's getting late. It's about to be dark out. So yeah, how you doing this evening?
I'll be better when I'm done dealing with you.
Now, Billy, you might just get your chance to be done with me right quick this evening.
Really?
Now, I reckon you've done a fair job of, truth be told, of being mayor of this fine city, but see, I'm prepared to offer you delights beyond your imagination if you do me two small favors. And just know, and I'm sure you've done some digging on me, that no number is too big.
Go on.
Just consider this as a generous contribution to your retirement. I would like for you to do me the solid this evening at the town hall and enact the preservation of Pennhurst fully and completely for eternity, so that it may never be touched, torn down, or changed in any way.
And two?
Renounce your mayoralship, effective immediately.
That's all?
That's all.
Can anybody see us?
Actually, both Marcus and Hercule, give me an observe a situation. Roll plus perception.
That would be a 21.
21.
$15.
15. All right.
Yeah.
The both of you are starting to make your way into the town hall meeting itself. You do notice in the rain, that's the mayor behind the building, and you don't quite recognize who she's with, but you are observing the fact that the mayor is kind of in like the back alley of the town hall. So yes, both of them, they're you can see them as among other civilians walking inside. Like, it's starting to fill up now.
Okay. And is anyone in particular paying like attention to me in the sense where it's like, oh, they're staring, or like it was just a glance type of situation?
Father Marcus, Detective Hercule, do either of you take note of this? Stop, stare?
I notice because, but the mayor always has a different entrance than the rest of the people if they wanted. I don't. Who's that? That seems like extra things. Hopefully, let me just get the rest of these people inside. It's wet out here.
And you continue ushering in like some of the older folks, some elderly folks, and what about you, Hercule?
Does it look like the mayor's distressed?
Give me a roll plus reason. Investigate.
I think I have the right die. To make sure.
Yeah, 2d10s plus your reason.
2d10 plus reason? Okay.
And your reason is plus 2.
Reasoning, I think I got a 6.
A 6.
Yeah.
Is that with your plus 2?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh boy. All right, with a 6. You're looking at the situation, and through the rain, your eyes kind of focus, and you see that Billy, you can see her face, and she's not okay. Like, you can tell that she's stony faced. And you remember this from a couple of events you've covered in the past when you were home visiting. You can tell, you can almost understand what's going on and read her in a way of like, this is a conversation she doesn't want to be having. But you look at the other person and you get a gut feeling. Something is not right about this man. It's the type of feeling you get. It almost reminds you of a feeling you got back in college, where you're stumbling out of a frat house and you saw a woman alone in an alley talking to some figure, and it's just this feeling of This isn't safe. This is not safe. This is not a safe situation. There's something predatory about this person.
If I'm not mistaken, I was talking to Father Marcus before we ended, or was I talking to someone else?
You were talking with, yes, actually, Detective Dan Somerset had, he was an old friend of your father's who stopped you in the library.
Right.
Talking about the kitty killer cases and pointed you in the direction of Father Marcus. So the two of you did interact. Father Marcus found some information on an old priest hundreds of years ago that similarly was committing crimes like the kitty killer. There's some connections with some dark entities, sacrificial rituals. You know, it's some dark things happening that Marcus was able to kind of fill in a little of the gaps with.
I guess if we both look over, because it seems like there's minor commotion over there, kind of gestured Father Marcus. Do you know that individual over there talking to me?
After you. Detective.
I think I recognize them.
Do I know who this person is?
Give me a soul roll.
Oh, great.
So it's your 2d10 plus soul.
Woo! That roll to the 9. We'll take it. That is a 12, so a mixed success, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. You take a look at him, and it dawns on you, campaign posters. You've seen his posters before for Elect Kilbride, but as you stare closer at him, you remember you've seen him around the halls of at least someone who looked like him, like an older version of him around the halls of Pennhurst when you were positioned there. I think that's the term used for priests. Anyway, almost like a spitting image of an older man that you've encountered, maybe his father. You've heard murmurs of, and you remember like something with the Kilbrides was involved with Pennhurst, but even so, as you're kind of like trying to piece this together and looking at him, for a brief moment, you don't see the face of an ordinary man. A, 40-something Caucasian male. No, there's something much darker happening in his face. Something inhuman, and it brings you back to your dream of Sister Delaney. Something almost monstrous, but no, it can't be. Maybe it's just the rain.
Detective, excuse me. That's, I think that is Quinn Kilbride, also trying to do some mural lynchings against our current mayor. I don't know if you're aware of the current situation, but he looks just... Maybe it was his daddy. Something's wrong with his face. Maybe. I don't know.
You're muted.
Yeah, something felt off about him, and she doesn't look. Maybe it's, some competition thing between people, but I figure you might know more. I haven't been here in a while.
I've been trying my best not to get but so involved after I left Cloth. Does our wonderful mayor look troubled?
She
Well,
does.
to me, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell, but also as you begin discussing him, like the moment you said his name, you can see him staring right at you.
Oh.
And I'm assuming I notice that he's...
Yeah, you notice he stops talking and he looks past you. And he stops a moment just to stare at them, and then he continues to go back to speak with you. So, are either of you, Marcus or Hercule, going to approach what? Go ahead.
Hercule kind of raises his hand like hi, how's the investigator reporter of way of kind of oh, you're looking at my, I'm enjoying the conversation.
Yeah,
now.
you're gonna flag it down. Yeah.
So I'm gonna start. I kind of tap him on the shoulder, Father Marcus on the shoulder, and gesture like we're gonna go over there. I'm gonna join the conversation and start to walk over.
Okay. Go ahead.
I look to see, what he's looking at, and I see them two coming, but I look back at Quinn, and I say simply, you're gonna lose today. And if you come near my daughter again, you're going to lose more than this mayor seat.
He leans in right before Hercule approaches, and he goes, "We'll see about that." Ah, you look just like an old detective that used to be around here. Mahomes, something like that.
Blush.
Yeah, but nah, he was older. Now help me out, Mayor Robinson. You have to know who this fine constituent is, don't you?
Do I know who he is?
Would the two of you cross paths? Let's give a roll for that. Give me a flat D10 or 2D10. And actually, not flat, because you have some advantages. And your advantage is network of contacts. As well as notorious. So let's go for notorious.
Okay.
Give me a charisma plus your 2d10.
Okay. $18.
Whew, yeah. You both know each other, but because you rolled an 18, you get to decide what Hercule has heard about you, what he knows. And being a detective, you can decide what secrets he might know. So for instance, does he know that you're struggling with April?
Yes, he does know.
Okay.
I look at Quinn. Detective Mahomes. Yes.
How are you doing? Kind of goes on, puts a hand on the shoulder, and does the handshake kind of thing.
Now, I've been saying detective. I apologize. The detective is your archetype. You are a journalist. I've been looking at the screen as I'm trying to do everything. So no, he's not a detective, but he is a journalist. So this journalist does know.
I met him with the other detective. That's why I remember.
Yes, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you're good. So we'll just...
Yep.
Hold that in there.
Journalist, you know him. Ah, Mr. Mahomes, yes.
Yes, there you go.
How you doing? There. How's it going? He offers a handshake.
Now,
I wouldn't touch him if I were you. He might rub off some stank.
Ah.
We're just
Billy. Mayor Robinson, come now. Save the mudslinging for the press. And by all means, since we got the press here, why don't you be a good sport and keep it light?
like your bribery.
Oh, I wouldn't.
Bribery, you say?
I wouldn't call it just that. You know, I was itching to give Mrs. Robinson a generous contribution to her campaign, and that's all we were discussing. I think it would be unwise for you, Mayor Robinson, to really divulge private matters in front of a member of the press.
Private matters. I mean, you offered it very publicly.
This is a public space.
You know, I do believe I did hear that church bell ringing for 7 o'clock on the dot, so we might as well go in. We can't have the mayor late to her own meeting, can we?
By all means, lead the way.
And he strides towards the door, opens it up wide, like takes a very wide pull of it, and does this very dramatic, like, ushering of the two of you in. After you.
Doesn't even acknowledge it and just walks through the door.
He stops you, Hercule, on your way in. And he kind of grips your shoulder just a little too tight.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Mr. Mahomes, I happen to have known your daddy and what kind of integrity he had. And it would behoove you to have the same kind of integrity as a member of the press, and maybe keep this evening off the record. You don't want to end up just like your daddy, do you?
Threats made. Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Sometimes you dig too deep, you might hit something you don't want to.
Well, hopefully we don't find ourselves hitting a wall, do we? We have a great campaign. Hope it goes places and doesn't get stopped up by your own ambitions.
You are a fun one. Your daddy was fun too.
Sure. Yeah, he was.
Yeah. All right, well, after you.
Walking.
So, let's cut back over to you, Father Marcus. You didn't approach. You entered through the building.
Yeah.
As everyone is talking, they're murmuring loudly, having conversations. You notice, sitting alone in the back of the room, next to the coat racks, being completely ignored by any and all around her, almost as if like someone actually put a coat on her, is the old woman who came to your door not too long ago, begging you to return to Pennhurst and help her son. But you also remember that that woman disappeared almost entirely, like thin air.
Right. She was there, and then she was. Then. Okay. I go over and just sit down next to her. You seem to have run off from last we spoke.
She's staring straight ahead, hands clasped on her cane, hunched over, and you kind of hear her faintly, "No, not run off.
Oh.
More like scared off."
I hope it wasn't me who scared you.
Nothing scary about you, Father. But, gotta be careful when weaving in and out.
Yeah.
Why are you here, Father?
There seems to be issues with Pennhurst, and as I heard you the other night request that the very least it be looked into, and others have brought it to my attention that it may be worth looking into. So at least somebody could speak out for others, even when the cloth isn't the one protecting you.
Mm. Are you gonna save my boy?
I hope to. If we can investigate, we can hopefully save your boy or get the authorities or the right people to.
She's shaking her head. There's not an authority on this plane that could help him. Except you. You gotta help my boy.
Who is your boy?
And she puts a grizzled hand on yours, and you feel it's ice cold. You'll know. You'll know. And go ahead if you're going to say one last thing to her.
Is your boy here or just back there?
He's there. He'll always be there. Unless you do something. And your attention is caught. You hear someone go, "As I live and breathe, Marcus Hill."
Hello.
And you turn, and there's an older woman who's grabs your attention. Marcus, what are you doing at this meeting?
Who am I looking at?
You don't. I mean, give me a not read. What's a good one for this one? Give me read a person. So give me a roll with intuition.
Huh? That's great. That's 5.
5? Okay. She looks vaguely familiar. She's a somewhat older woman, maybe in her 50s, 60s, you know, a regular run-of-the-mill suburban mother. She's a little too excited to see you. She's not that familiar to you, but it's interesting that she knows who you are, and how she's pulled your attention so aggressively.
I go to stand up and hello.
Yes. Oh, hello.
Oh, excuse me. I have seem to have forgotten your name.
I am. My name is Annie, and I'm a fan of yours.
Excuse me.
I'm a fan of, well, quite frankly, what you could do. Your abilities, actually.
Whoa. What are you speaking about? I don't understand.
Oh, actually, where are my manners? Might as well get back to what the meeting at hand. So, I'll catch you after.
What? Oh, and okay, thank you, Annie.
She scurries off into the crowd.
I turn back to the person I was speaking with before. I apologized.
Gone.
And I look back up to try to see where Annie went.
Gone. Into the crowd.
This is going to be bad. Okay.
Give me a roll plus soul.
15.
15? Okay. You perceive things. Now, 15 says you perceive things as they truly are. It seems as though there was 2 visitations that you had here. as both have seemed to disappear. It's blurring the lines between what is real and what is not.
I understand somewhat. Okay. It's like a lot of people I have today. Understood. Let's see what we can do to help. Anyway, just find a seat. Do I see like anyone else, like Hercule or someone, like walk in?
Hercule, when you come in, about where would you be sitting? The front, the middle, the back? Would you be hanging out in the back? Where would you position yourself?
As a journalist, he's probably gonna try and head to the front. He would look for any key figures or key officials, kind of just chat with them, very, brief, kind of try and catch an update as to what's going on in town, and then head to the front, that T space, get all the information.
Right. So yeah, you're in the front, and you approach one of the council members. City council member, we're gonna say her name is Abrams. And she's she's talking to you about the crime rate and how we've been ignoring the elephant in the room. That, there's homelessness, poverty, children going missing or murdered. It's unacceptable. Divisive action must be made. So she's in the midst of kind of going on this tirade with you. Marcus, are you going to approach Hercule?
Yeah. Excuse me, Mr. Mahomes.
Yes.
Good to see you again.
I gotta go back up on stage, but we'll talk later, Mr. Mahomes. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh, sorry if I interrupted.
It's fine.
Interview, investigation.
Just trying to catch up on as much information as I can. Sometimes little bits of information you get from people can lead to something.
You received anything pertinent to our last conversation?
Well, our last conversation? No, it doesn't seem like it. Just general politics,
Gotcha.
That other runner-up was a bit pushy there.
Yeah, that's what happened. Did something happen between him and the mayor? You?
He seemed like he was trying to press the mayor for something. He kind of threatened me, trying to keep me off his scent. We'll see. Did you run into anything strange? You seem a little out of sorts since we talked just a few minutes ago.
Not out of sorts. Seems there are potentially things at Pennhurst that need to be looked into.
That's what it seems like. Sam, I've had some strange experiences today revolving around Pennhurst.
Same. Yeah. I have also had some strange experiences. But maybe we can help, or at least just bring it up so that people can help. I don't know. Hoping I'm not the only one that's can do something about it, but we'll see.
We'll see what the masses tend to say, if anyone has anything else they might have experienced. I'd want to say more, but don't want to come off as... It's probably nothing, you know. I don't... But, does it look like they're getting started soon?
Yes. So you both kind of try to exchange what little information you've been able to solve at this point, and as you're discussing it, the chamber, different chairpersons and such start filling the stage. Mayor Robinson, you come out on the stage as well. Quinn is kind of hovering towards the side, almost kind of like lying in wait. And as everybody sits down, one of the parents stands up and just is shouting, like, "We can't keep our kids safe. What are you gonna do about it, Mayor Robinson?"
I hear you. I hear you. I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. Please take your seats.
Everybody kind of shuffles and sits down. And the chairwoman Abrams is, "Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mayor. The issue on the table this evening, yes, we do want to make sure we discuss what is happening with the children of Philadelphia. We want to address the Kensington Kiddie Killer. This is all on the docket, but one of the most important things we have to address this evening is the destruction or preservation of Pennhurst Asylum." We open the floor, and different people stand up. Some are, tear it down, it's a stain, we don't want it. Others, we need to preserve it, it's important. So there's kind of this back and forth, this kind of push and pull with the crowd, and, Abrams like, "Okay, all right, everybody settle. Mayor Robinson, please, if you will give us your stance on the matter."
I've been in this city, born and raised. I love Philadelphia. But one thing I don't love, and what has affected this town and so many people, is Pennhurst. And it's my stance and true belief that it needs to be torn down to a pile of indiscriminate rubble and taken off the premises for good.
There's, murmurs through the crowd, folks are clapping, for you. But then you hear, "Now that's quite noble of you, Mayor Robinson, but as a concerned constituent and candidate for the mayoral position, if I may, I do believe that I speak for many here with what I have to say. If you would please let me have the floor."
I don't say anything. I just walk away from the podium and sit back in my seat.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Give it up, everybody, for Mayor Robinson. Isn't she such a great mayor to this town? She's protected you all and stood up for you all in hell. She is a Philly native. And you know me, I may not be a native of Philadelphia, but you know that my family and myself have done wonders for this city. Now, you see, though, I represent the folks here who understand the importance of preservation. You see, preservation is not just about bricks and mortar. It's about preservation of identity, of essence that defines humanity. But no, your honorable mayor wants to bulldoze all of that down. For you see, the eradication of the past means you will plant the seeds of your own demise as the good citizens of Philadelphia. Places like this need to be preserved. They need to be maintained. And the reasoning why I tell you, in the relentless pursuit of your own progress, you annihilate the very foundation that birthed your existence. Now it is your decision here today to vote as a council or be overruled by the mayor about preserving such a historical site. And I tell you that and a bunch of abandoned buildings on a hill are not the cause of your woes in this city. It's not the direct cause of crime and children missing and murdered. No, unfortunately, that is the neglect and the ignorance of your mayor. And the crowd you hear more claps than what you received. And it seems that the tide of the crowd is turning. It's almost as if his words are almost like intoxicating the crowd. Can all three of you give me a perception?
I was about to ask for my perception ability to read the crowd anyway.
20.
Ooh.
Nice.
18.
18.
We did this in order because well, not actually in order because you said 20 and the 18, and I got a 22.
Whew, okay. So the three of you are not buying it. It's like he's a snake oil salesman, and like the way when he's talking with his hands, you can almost see like this aura, this kind of shroud that is emanting from him and just kind of like encapsulating the crowd. And you're the only three in the room that don't seem to be under his spell.
Is it like is it a storm outside or is it just raining?
It's starting to get a little thunderous outside. Like the more he talks, the more the crowd kind of riles up. You can almost hear the weather outside matching the tension and the riling that is happening.
Okay. So I just start humming a lullaby.
So
No words, but
Well,
just start humming it and seeing if anyone notices.
Okay. Hercule, did you have something that you were going to add to that?
I was gonna try and read the crowd, and it's kind of easy to read the crowd. He's kind of got them under a quote-unquote spell. Is there like because it's a town hall meeting, so is like a mic in the middle of the room that he stood up in front of?
Yeah, he's up at the podium at this point.
This is a podium, okay, yes.
And as like the crowd is going, you can kind of faintly hear Mayor Robinson's humming, like being picked up on the microphone, and the two of you can hear it.
Anyone else hear it? Just as
yeah.
Give me an observe, so a perception.
All of us, or
Just Mayor Robinson, unless you wanna also perceive if anyone else in the room is hearing her humming this lullaby.
I would like to.
I also would like to.
What was that roll?
14.
14. Okay.
8 plus 6 plus 3, 17.
Okay. We are getting ready to head into our first break after the outcome of this.
I got 10 perceptions.
You got a 10?
Yeah.
Okay. So Marcus and Billy, you both notice that nobody around Billy can hear her humming. You are close enough, to be able to hear it. And the rest of the chamber, the different folks that are sitting, up on the stage, they are glued on Quinn. The same as the crowd. Like, they are looking at him with adoration. They're, beginning to start chants of preserve Pennhurst. They've all kind of turned to him. So it is seemingly the only three people who are not fully engaged with this man at the moment are you three.
I assume there's like a audience mic in the middle of the room somewhere.
Yes, there is.
I'm gonna kind of make my way over there. If there's a line, I'll wait in line. If not, I'll just go up.
The line hasn't started yet. They haven't opened up the floor
they
yet.
haven't opened up the floor, right?
So you can go up to that mic if you want to cut him off.
I'd go up to the mic.
Okay.
Kind of clap well on my way up. If the journalists kind of join in. He's a politician. He's a mayor. I don't remember. He is gunning for the mayoralship. He lost the first time. He's looking to take it from Billy now, but he has quite a lot of wealth. That his family owns a lot of industrial type things. You would know. Let me see with your investigative journalistic interrogator read a crowd. You would know that his family, and doing your research and such, that his family invested quite heavily in Pennhurst. Glasses are crooked. He kind of claps a little bit. He's just looking through his notes. Can I make a statement?
Oh, by all means.
Yes. Friend of the people.
Sure.
Definitely. So you want us to hold on to Pennhurst? Is there a particular reason other than what you're saying here? I mean, this is not something in use, and it's kind of got as we all know, it's got a bad rap, and it's really kind of a stain in our past. Why wouldn't it just be a good memorial center if we were to build a memorial cultural center in place of this space? It would certainly bring more people in, and it would also have a more positive note as a cultural center than a closed down, rundown building. As we know, closed down, rundown buildings are kind of spaces for kids to go and get lost, get injured. As right now, we don't know where some of the missing children are. Someone could be using it as some nefarious beings that we don't know about. It's something that we should really look into, maybe clearing the space and clearing the air. Maybe. Why hold on to something so dark? Do you have a reason against that?
Give me a read a crowd roll.
Okay.
That's your roll plus perception.
Yeah. I got 13.
13?
Yeah.
You say this.
Mm-hmm.
He is staring you down. Like, it's dawning on him that you are not drinking his Kool-Aid.
Mm-hmm.
And as he's staring at you, you take a second, because it's eerily quiet as you say this. You don't hear any parents, agreeing with you, or any of the, different murmurs, usual fodder you would hear from a crowd when someone speaks up about an issue. And you look around you, and everyone is staring, glaring at you. Stone. All almost in unison, all looking at you. And oh, journalist.
Yeah.
Mr. Mahomes. That was quite an impressive take. I mean, you are a journalist. You learned from the best. Hell, your daddy was saying the same type of things when they were looking to shut Pennhurst down for good. And as you can see, not a single person in this room currently agrees with you.
I would agree with
I thought before this town hall, other people agreed with me. It seems quite strange that the room is so quiet.
Huh. And he kind of tilts his head and leans forward, looking at both of you. And then he looks back at Billy and he's like, oh, I guess she's not the only one.
Did you all anyone get paid to be here? But why? I've been around town today, and there were other people who were not as psyched about this building being around, you know. Yeah.
I stand up and I walk over to the mic and I look him dead in the face and I'm like, I know who you are.
And he smiles and rips the podium out of its place. Whoop, 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 whoop. And it goes sailing into the wall and shatters. And nobody moves. They're all still staring at you, Hercule. It took you far too long to figure that out, dear Billy. Why do you keep fucking up the good things that I give you?
You do realize everything I did was to get rid of you.
And everything you did was entirely in vain. You could have had it all, Billy. You could have had the husband, the daughter, the house, the money, every little thing that your kind of people would enjoy.
Mahomes taps on the mic.
Do me a favor and shut the fuck up. Please. And as he says that, like, everyone who's staring at you stands in unison. I'm the one in control here. Though, Billy, you always thought you were the one in control. Even back then.
So, do I have any type of method or way in which I used to get rid of him as a kid, or to affect him? Because my first goal is to save the people, and then we can fight on, I guess you could say.
Give me an act under pressure to see if you are able to decipher that as, you know, he is starting to puff out his chest, essentially.
Okay.
And that is coolness.
18. Yay,
18?
plus 3 coolness.
Okay. Let's see. As a little kid, what would you have done to make the darkness go away, essentially? Like, when he was getting more dark, when he wasn't your fun, you know, by your side, you know, best friend, you know, when he was trying to get you to do things you didn't want to do, or take you places you didn't want to go, or show you things that you didn't want to see, what would you sing a song? Maybe it's a lullaby, or like, what would be something as a child that would be?
I would say the lullaby, and basically in between each phrase or sentence, I would snap.
Okay.
And it didn't matter how long it took. By the time I got to the end of the lullaby, he was gone. Sometimes earlier, sometimes not.
Okay. You start the lullaby, and you get to the first snap. And he slightly recoils. And when he does, as he pulls his shoulder back, you can hear the cracking of bones and the splitting. And you can see, like, his face is starting to, like the skin is starting to kind of, like, melt and droop. Don't do it, Billy. Do you say the next?
I'm like stand like this.
Yep, and they are just staring at you. And, like, they haven't moved or lunged at you in any way. Billy, do you say the next line?
Sailed on a wooden shoe.
And the visage starts to kind of melt a little more. And he's like, you are going to regret this.
Sails on the river of crystal light into the sea of blue.
Okay. Give me a... Actually... Okay. You do the next snap, and as you do, there's this kind of like that happens, and the room darkens. The power goes out in an instant. You can see the flash of lightning outside. The doors fling open as wind and rain start like whooshing through the room, and they still do not move. And he is kind of recoiled, and you can see he's almost like this facade, this visage of a human man is starting to melt away, and you're starting to see why children call him the gangly man. His spindly arms and legs kind of like shrink out and crick and crack, and he's like, fine, have it your way. And everyone give me a soul roll.
Oh no. Oh, okay. I got 13.
17.
9.
Okay. With a 9, I need a secondary roll from you of willpower.
Plus what? Or just straight?
Your 2d10 plus willpower.
Oh. Okay. 20.
20? Amazing. Okay. So the two of you who rolled, you rolled a 17 and a 15?
13.
13.
Well, I rolled 15, but I have -2.
-2. Okay, so you had a 13, you had a 17. So Billy, you're able to kind of like keep it together in a sense. You are seeing him melt away, and you are kind of still emotionally and mentally present for what happens next. Hercule, you feel kind of like darkness is starting to consume you. It's bleeding into your vision. You're feeling like as if you're starting to like drown in it. You as well, Hercule. It's almost like you're being kind of like pulled through darkness through the floor. Billy, you keep your eyes on the gangly man, and as darkness envelopes all of you, including the citizens, it all goes to black. And you all kind of open your eyes, or as light kind of like dimly returns, and you can make out what's around you. You realize that you're no longer in the council hall. You are in a falling apart assembly hall. It's rickety. The paint is starting to peel off the walls. There's a aged yellowish curtain in front of you on the stage, and all of you are in these broken long benches. And because the two of you, okay, so Billy, you find yourself, you end up in front of the stage. The two of you were in the crowd, so you end up still in the crowd, and you are in this disgusting room that is falling apart, the smells of decay. And only you, Marcus, understand where you are right now. You've been in this room before.
Oh no.
Hercule panics slightly and runs to the door and kicks it open.
Wait. Hold on.
Hercule, you are gonna panic. You run to the door, but that door is not opening.
I guess Father Marcus calls wait as I try to hit the door. I look over to him. What the hell? Where are we? What is that? What just happened?
I don't know what just happened. Seems we may have gotten entangled with an entity we weren't intending on. We are, well, for me, we're back. For you two, if you haven't been before, welcome to Pennhurst.
And with that, we'll take our first break. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break. We will return shortly after, for we now have found ourselves in what looks like Pennhurst. All right, and we will see you all soon.
Wow.
All right, y'all, welcome back. I was informed that our music was a little low, though right now I feel like it is a little too loud. So that's not balanced. Give me 2 quick shakes, but we are back, and we are thankful that y'all are still here with us and ready for some terrible, terrible, terrible things. So without further ado, we continue to the second part of our 3-part conclusion. So, you all have found yourselves in what is recognizable to Marcus as one of Pennhurst's assembly rooms. And as you look around, there isn't much happening at the moment. It's quiet. It is eerily quiet. You can hear wind whooshing through broken glass panes, far too high up for you to reach. The townsfolk, including the chamber members, are all still standing, frozen.
Well, they're here.
Staring. They're with you.
I thought this place emptied. Okay, that's different. Is the person who was not who we thought they were still there? The politician?
He has disappeared.
Okay.
All right. As Hercule they tried to run down the aisle. Did everyone keep following him, or are they just staring?
They're staring straight ahead currently at the tattered mustard yellow curtains of this grand stage in front of you.
I sort of slide back and into the aisle. Yeah, this.
So you seem to have an idea as to sort of what's going on, Father. I have no clue.
Okay. As to what's going on, I do not. As to where we are.
Okay.
That I do know.
Okay. And by the way, it looks like the same building, or does it look like another building currently? I'm asking the DM.
Oh no, we're in Pennhurst.
Yes, you are no longer in the town hall.
So, like, someplace in Pennhurst,
yes,
some part of. Okay.
Yes, Marcus recognizes that it is the assembly hall. He was able to articulate this is Pennhurst. It is dilapidated. You can tell it's been rotting for the last 10, I think it's been about 10 years, 10, 15 years, maybe a little bit more than that.
The air like?
The air is thick with this wet mold kind of smell. It's almost difficult for you to breathe. You can see paint is starting to peel off the walls, and give me an investigation roll.
Sure. Let's see.
Oh, that would be your reason. I'm so sorry.
Reasoning? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Reasoning. Oh, I have a thing for that. Investigate crimes? It's not crimes. It's just regular.
Well, a crime scene is essentially, we're going to play it where a crime scene essentially is anywhere a crime has occurred.
Yeah, so I said it's not really this.
The crime of kidnapping is a thing, and all of you have been kidnapped at this point. So, I will allow it for you to use your advantages as an investigator in that sense.
Whenever you investigate a crime scene, roll a reason and ask the question from the list below. Okay. Somehow I got the same number, which is weird. But yeah, so reasoning. I got a 9?
9? You at least know old buildings like this, they're probably full of asbestos, mold, what have you, but as an investigative journalist, you've been in abandoned buildings. You've been in buildings that are far older than the buildings of Pennhurst. You know what it's like to have, just wet mold and asbestos in the air. There's something else in this air that almost feels like you're inhaling thousands of little tiny micro like needles. Like you can feel kind of like it's almost a little painful when you breathe.
He goes to his bag and puts like a scarf around his neck, around his face.
Okay.
Bandana, and takes out his crowbar and then goes back to the door and is like trying to crack open the door.
Okay. Give me a... Let me look at your stats for your crowbar for 1 second. Crowbar. Find the pry bar. Okay. So you are using it to open the door. So I'm going to give you, because you're using it for its intended purpose, a +2. So give me a 2d10 +2.
Oh no! I had a critical wound too. I thought I had just a serious one. Okay.
No, you just have a certain current.
Oh, it was just critical, a serious wound. Okay, yeah. All right. Let's. I was just trying to check the notes before I did the roll. Okay. I'm rolling what again?
2d10 +2.
Oh, 2d10 +2.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I got 15.
15? Okay. All right. You thrust your crowbar into the double doors of the assembly hall. And it's making very loud, scraping metal on metal sounds as you're trying to thrust it one open. And in unison, you hear all of the townsfolk kind of take a military step to turn at attention at you. And they're all staring at you. And in unison, they all raise a hand and point at you, open their mouths, and let out this horrifying shriek that is just unending. It's not stopping. So it's just fully engulfing your ears.
He
and
covers his ears and kind of swinging the crowbar around.
All three of you give me a keep it together. That's a roll plus willpower.
So mine's because serious one. I got 10.
13.
Oh no, I got 9.
6.
All right, with a 13, we'll say for Billy. Billy, you get a -1 stability.
Okay.
What kind of emotion do you feel hearing these screeches and sounds? Are you scared? Are you angry?
I'm angry.
You're angry? Okay, so you get a -1 stability, and you are just infuriated by what's happening around you. You don't know where your daughter is. You are somehow at Pennhurst, one of the last places you wanted to be at in the middle of the night. For the go ahead.
Can I call out for Candy?
Yes. Let me see if she hears you. An 11. You call out for Candy, and you can hear a bark, but it is through the howling wind outside. So she's not in this building, but you can hear her barking somewhere in a building nearby. For the two of you that rolled lower, the strain of this screeching is just too much for your mind to handle. And both of you cower, just sink down, covering your ears. And you both receive a -2 stability. Which, -2 stability, for those watching, A -1 stability gets you a -1 to disadvantage rolls. A -2 stability gets you a -2 to... I'm so sorry.
No, we're unfocused, so we both should have...
Unfocused. I am so sorry. A -1 gets you unfocused. And then
-1 is uneasy, -2 is unfocused.
Correct, I apologize. Thank you.
So
-1 is uneasy, -2 is unfocused. So both of you are unfocused, but you, Billy, are uneasy. All of you get a moderate stress of a -1 to disadvantage rolls.
Awesome. I just sort of scream out, try to scream over the screaming. Stop! 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 To Hercule, who's at the door.
Mm-hmm. Unmute.
I've already taken the crowbar and kind of swinging it and hold my ear.
Mm-hmm. So when you remove the crowbar,
Yeah, it's removed.
the screeching just stops. As quickly as it started, it stops. Silence is in the room, aside from the faint barking you can hear on the wind. Then you hear the rickety, like, rusted, like, definitely need some WD-40 of the curtains being pulled open. And out of the shadows walks a nun. Father Marcus, you recognize Sister Delaney.
What? Sister Delaney?
She sharply looks at you as you say that. Doesn't say anything, she just stares at you.
I don't know if you wanted me here, but we are here.
That you are. That was quite a speech you gave, Mr. Mahomes. Great words about memorials and cultural centers and wishful thinking for your species.
I'm sorry,
Well,
what?
I don't repeat myself, but she said it's wishful thinking for your species.
He's holding the crowbar, what?
You see, you wanted a memorial. You wanted folks to be able to appreciate, or at least show their support and recognition for what this place used to be. But unfortunately, this place is still very, very active. You can feel it in the walls. And what kept this place so alive was the fear. It was the fear that satiated us most. And it's what you people, your species, is so very good at. So, and as she says so, she clasps her hands together, and all of the townspeople kind of are broken from their spell, and they start screaming and freaking out and running around like lemmings, trying to find any exit they can. Several of them kind of like tackle over you, Hercule, and are clamoring to try to open the door. And she's like, yes, the fear.
And I'm like, everyone, please calm down.
Give me Anita, if you're gonna be trying to calm everybody down. You're gonna use your advantage, but you do get -1. Let's use a charisma roll.
Okay.
So your 2d10 plus your charisma -1.
14.
Okay.
Real quick,
Yes.
while they're trying to calm everyone down, can I use my enhanced awareness to try to peer slightly beyond the veil to see what's going on?
Mm-hmm. You sure can.
Okay. Let's see if this works. This is plus soul,
Mm-hmm.
but I have a -1, so yay, straight roll. Let's
Let's get a straight roll.
come on, chat. Chat didn't believe hard enough.
Believe in it, please.
Yeah, that's a 6.
It's a
so
6.
That's bad.
Whew. Okay. And you were rolling your soul?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was my enhanced awareness.
Enhanced awareness.
So yeah, it's bad.
All right, let me look at your enhanced awareness. Enhanced awareness. Let's see. The illusion tears. The veil is lifted temporarily, revealing alternate dimension. Okay. All right. So you're trying to use your enhanced awareness. You're looking. You're fixated on Sister Delaney on this stage, and you notice coming up behind her as this cacophony of chaos is happening throughout the assembly hall is a blood-soaked priest who kind of, like, you can see in the darkness, like, that you can only see, really, he has a hand on her shoulder. And the two of them realize that you're pushing, trying to see through the veil. You're trying to push to see what is really there. And they both sharply look at you. In an instant, both of their faces, the familiar face of Sister Delaney, melts away. This priest, who looked somewhat human, is contorted in this demonic visage. And you see, instead of Sister Delaney, you see this unnaturally slender-armed woman that it's almost as if when the moonlight kind of passes, or when the lightning flashes, you see not a nun, but you see this blood-splattered woman with pale porcelain doll-like skin. She's unnatural. Her eyes are black like obsidian, and she has these long fingernails that look like they could cut through you like razor blades. And you see that this is not a being of this world. This is something evil, something far darker than any demon or demonic entity that your meager religion could comprehend. You're looking at creatures that are just beyond your reality.
I go to grab what would have been the crucifix I used to keep around my neck, but I gave that up a long time ago, so I'm literally just
going to grab your chest. And without even speaking, you can hear the voice as it's distorting away from the familiar tone of Sister Delaney. You can hear it distort and crack and say, like, I wouldn't have been able to help you even if you had it. You are so very lost.
What are you?
I am everywhere. I am everything. And I am the creature that is going to devour your very soul. You three do not deserve to be touched the way that you are. You three do not deserve to know what's beyond the veil. This is the end.
I just start laughing.
Well, you did not hear that.
Oh, okay.
Just Marcus heard it.
Gotcha.
You're trying to quell the masses. So you're trying to get these people who are terrified to calm down. And I need all of you, except for Marcus. I need both Hercule and Billy. Give me a willpower.
take those. Take those. We take those. I got a.
14.
I would have gotten a 14, but I have -1 and 2 different things, so I got 12.
Both of you sustain a bit of fear.
Okay.
You didn't quite hear what was said, but this figure on the stage is just demanding this waves of fear, and it's starting to kind of cause you to crack. As the scared and terrified humans are clamoring and climbing and banging on the doors, the nun on stage raises her hand and kind of does a time to give them what they want. And the doors thrust open, and these terrified townspeople just go running out into the hall to just kind of skitter and dive deeper and run deeper into the bowels of Pennhurst.
I called them, wait.
Don't.
Your efforts are, you can't reason with the sheep at this point. They're doomed. You know that they're off to run, and the nun chuckles. Time to hunt, time to feed. It's good to have life in these walls again. And you see her kind of fade into the darkness as you three are left alone in this room.
Can I use something from Crime Scene Investigate?
Sure.
I'm going to ask a question to the DM. So I'm going to roll, I guess. I have to roll and then ask my questions or how many questions I get or whatever.
Yes.
This one...
Sorry.
Oh.
What did my screen do? Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
Okay. I'm so sorry, y'all. That was my my screensaver. My computer.
Your computer got scared and said, "Nah, I'm out."
And was like, "Nah, I'm out."
I'm out. I can't do this no more.
Oh no. Okay, studio mode transition. Is it fixed? Oh no. Oh no.
I think so.
I look frozen. Give me 2 seconds. Oh no.
I have not been using advantage.
Are two of us frozen on screen? It looks like I am frozen, and I'm trying to cipher if that is the case.
Yes.
I'm frozen.
We're frozen. Okay, great. Give me 2 seconds, y'all. I apologize for that. I clicked terror.
Oh no.
Okay, that's one fixed.
One more.
One more. Windows. Okay, we are fixed. Okay, all right.
Everybody good?
We're good. So go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, I think I have to roll first and
Yes, go ahead and roll and let me know what your questions are.
I think that's probably gonna be the good one. How did I get the same number on 2 different die?
It's okay. It's good. Take those.
I'll take it.
On the tie.
Yes. What is the plus on this? Let me this thing. Perception. Oh, beautiful. I love that. I love that for me because that's 20. That's 3 questions.
3 questions? Okay, you may ask me 3 questions.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna ask the first and best question. What mistakes did the perpetrator make?
Well, the mistake was allowing the 3 of you who are awake and attuned to still be here.
Okay. That's a good one. What? What? I think the assumptions are pretty easy, but what can I assume about the perpetrator, I guess?
You can assume from the strange monologue that just intended for themselves and not really you. They see you as a species that is good for one thing, satiating their hunger.
Okay.
The three of you weren't supposed to be awake.
Yeah.
And it seems as though the gangly man who brought you here, not sure if that was thought through.
Okay. Let's see. I feel like these other questions are pretty easy to answer already, but I'll go with this one. And this is probably a weird one to use. When was someone here last?
Hmm?
When was someone here last?
Ooh.
Like,
so you do notice on the floor, there are fresh blood trails leading out of the room. In the chaos, it wasn't really noticed before, but, you know, as the doors open, you can see that there were red marks on the floor, and they lead out of the two double doors and veers to the left, as if something was dragged.
I got some good info.
Yeah, looking at the blood stains on the floor, you can see that this was probably within the last month.
Yeah. Well, I guess as everybody rushes out, he tries to ponder those questions and gets that information, I guess. He'll look, and I guess it's just me, Father Marcus, and Mayor Billy in the room.
Yep. Billy, give me a perception roll. I think you're at a -2 stability now.
12.
A 12? You can hear April's giggling echoing somewhere. And it causes this deep well of panic inside of you. You can hear it when the doors open and the screams start dissipating off into the darkness. You can hear her giggling, and it's echoing somewhere close by.
I called out. I'm like, April? April?
Mommy?
Where are you?
I'm in the candy room.
What?
Candy? Where's the candy room?
I'm not sure. You can hear me though, Mommy, right?
I can.
Come find me.
Do you still have the puppy?
I don't know where Candy is.
Just
We hear this back and forth. Well, we hear the mayor.
Yes. Yeah, you can hear it.
Would I be able to help with where that room, what she could possibly mean by that room?
Yes. So give me a.
Virgil looks very confused.
Perception. Actually, you wouldn't really need a roll for this since you knew the building. The candy room, you believe she's referring to one of the old nurseries that had paintings of a candy village on the walls.
Oh.
Paintings that even during the height of Pennhurst were unnerving. But you know that is the room that is directly beneath where you are right now.
Madam Mayor, I think I know where she is. She's right below us. All we have to do is get to the stairs. Go right down here, go downstairs, come back in this direction. She should be there.
let's go then.
Mayor, you know, I can't help but have, you know, just some questions. We should probably go and find your kid. I'm just gonna say we should do that and talk along the way. But we need to get out of this room. So let's walk and talk. Come on.
Follow me.
I'm just. Oh, okay.
I follow.
I lead them downstairs.
As we're walking, I'm like, so who's the friend? Who's the we need information. I don't know. I just got to town. What?
I don't think you need much convincing, but this place is cursed.
That's obvious. But what was the whole thing on stage? Going back and forth.
As you are probably very aware, the disappearances and the kidnapping stopped for many years, and it just recently started back. I'm the reason why it stopped.
What?
Sometimes you gotta make some deals.
While the market stops. What?
He turns around. I'm sorry. Rewind. What?
I thought he was gone forever.
What do you mean?
He tried to kidnap me. Didn't work.
Okay.
So I figured, trap him. Keep him from harming anyone else. And it was working. It was working. Until now.
Right, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. So we have
Unfortunately, you came back at a very, very poor time.
very, very, very poor time. Poor, extremely.
A random woman runs past you into a room being chased by a child
What the?
Fuck.
and just goes screaming into the darkness. You can kind of see flicking shadows of people running around. You can hear them on different floors now just screaming and what sounds like them being harmed. You can hear wails of pain just echoing through the halls.
Whatever this is, whatever creature is, it is feeding a lot because
So
it said something about
okay.
yeah.
The sister that was on the stage that you all saw. Well, first of all, that wasn't really a sister. Second of all, she was taking the guise of a sister that unfortunately killed herself earlier
Okay.
today. And for some reason, as you say, they're definitely using everyone here to feed. We need to figure out what's going on here and get out as soon as possible. Mayor Robinson, I don't know who you made a deal with, but I'm guessing we met them today. We have a very big problem, and there are definitely people here that need help. But first, let's get your kid.
Yeah, ASAP. You all have some way of defending yourselves of some sort, I would assume.
Pulls out of my back pocket, since I have one,
Pull your pocket.
a pistol.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you brought a pistol.
He does one of those little twirl situations. It never leaves my side.
To the assembly. That's
And
interesting.
speaking of never leaving your side, you can hear the echoes of Candy barking. Do you call out to her?
Yes. Candy, where are you?
Oh, right, that's your dog. He says that all loud. Father Marcus, do you have a way of protecting yourself, Father.
Um,
Apparently the mayor has a gun.
you pulled out a crowbar.
Have a crowbar and a taser.
It's like sort of they lean down and see like this jagged piece of metal.
Okay, well, let's get it moving, and at least
Before we do,
yes.
Father,
Yeah.
clearly you know more about this place than you let the rest of us know, just as I. But I have an idea.
Yeah.
I know you don't do this anymore, but I think it's time for you to bless these weapons.
No. Know if I can do that.
And why is that?
I can say a prayer, but if just saying a prayer was gonna help, we wouldn't be in this situation now.
Were you praying before?
You have no idea. Let's keep going.
Do you want to try to give a prayer?
I will as we're walking.
Okay.
Yes, going.
What are you trying to do a prayer over first as far as blessing? Is it your own weapon? Is it Billy's bullets, or is it the crowbar?
I would say it would be over probably Billy's gun.
Mm-hmm.
Like as we're going, Billy first, then Hercule, then myself.
Okay. Give me a soul roll.
Going straight. 11? No. Yes, 11.
Okay. You attempt to give the cross, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, and you kind of murmur it. And when you do, Billy, your gun gets a little warmer.
Good job, Father.
Still got something in me, I guess.
And
Again?
What
Do I do it for?
yeah, if you want to do it for each one, go for it.
Yeah. I'll say something for the crowbar.
Holy crowbar.
That's a 17.
17? Okay.
Yeah.
The crowbar... Hercule, is your crowbar like an older one? Like, is it kind of rusted, or is it like a newer crowbar?
It's a newer crowbar.
It's newer?
Yeah.
Okay. It gets warmer in your hands, and you almost, what you believe, you see it almost glow, like has like this light aura around it.
Interesting.
So I'll try for myself. That sounds about right. That's a 4.
Okay. You go to bless your own weapon, and nothing happens. It's dull, lifeless. It's just a piece of metal in your hand.
Sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like we're all ready. Straight down this way.
Yep.
That should be where your daughter is. Let's go.
You approach the stairs, and out of the darkness, you can see the silhouette of a small child with their back to you, standing in the open archway to the stairs.
April?
The lightning flashes, and this child is pale gray. Back is bare, and you can see the back is just littered with wounds like pockmarked wounds that are open and festering, and you can see the child's kind of hunched over. The shoulders are moving up and down as it's possibly eating something.
That kid's not a kid. I don't know about that. I hope that's not April.
Kid.
It doesn't look like April from behind. The hair is short, almost like haphazardly shaved, like areas where like there's like bald spots, like someone really did a bad buzz cut on this child.
Would the lullaby work on this child?
You want to try it? Give me, while you're singing your lullaby, add soul to it.
Okay. 16.
16? Okay. You start singing your lullaby, and the child kind of like stops what it's doing and turns to you slowly, and you see in the flashing of the lightning, it is eating a freshly ripped off arm. As it's like eating the flesh of the arm, it looks at you, drops the arm, gives a smile, like a fleshy filled smile, and takes off sprinting up the stairs.
Away from us or towards us?
Away from you.
Oh.
I guess I won't waste a bullet.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's find your kid and hope your kid has both arms and legs.
I call out again for April.
I'm here, Mommy. There's other kids here too.
Oh no.
Run.
Coming from the same direction?
Yeah, same direction. You can hear it kind of coming down, echoing up from beneath, down, like the stairwell down. You can hear it kind of echoing up.
Picks up his pace and kind of slows down to a shudders a bit when he hears other kids.
Yeah. Billy, Candy comes running up to your side, and you can hear her kind of like whimpering.
I kind of, I lean down, like pet Candy behind the ears. Like, it's okay. We're gonna have to be strong, Candy. Strong. We gotta find April, okay?
She gives a little.
Eats patting again, and then stands back up. Let's go.
How does the dog look?
Give me perception.
$16.
Okay. Dog looks seemingly normal. But you can tell something quite, like the fur kind of like around where like someone would like pick up the dog, like around the waist or the stomach area is like matted with this sludgy black substance.
What happened to your dog?
I take a closer look. Is it on my hands?
You touched the dog?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's on your hands. It's almost like blood, but it's black and inky and disgusting. Like it is like a fluid from another world. Like it's not a normal fluid that you've ever encountered, but it does give like the texture of blood.
Father,
Yeah.
can you bless Candy?
Yeah, sure. I'll try.
Blessed be the dog.
Great. Again. That's a 9.
Okay. You attempt to bless the dog, but nothing happens. And you can hear this echoed.
What?
All around you.
Yeah, I know. We gotta go. Blessing things we're only gonna get what we're gonna get. We gotta get you the kid.
Well, then go.
Do you all head downstairs?
Oh yeah, we picked up pace.
So you head downstairs, and Marcus, you it's coming clearer now. You're starting to remember how you used to walk these halls, and you're leading them directly to the candy room, the nursery. As you do, though, down the halls, you can just hear the wails and screams of the townsfolk as they're being terrorized by whatever creatures lurk in the shadows here. And more you're starting to hear like the crunching of bone and that slushing of flesh and bone and blood just being like splattered about. All of you give me, as you're walking, a coolness.
Oh no, that's great. Oh, nice. Okay. -3. That's just beautiful.
-2. So that's going to be a 7.
I got 11.
14. Thank God for +3 coolness.
Okay. Marcus and Hercule, you both are starting to get a little shaken. There's an uncomfortableness that is just truly starting to engulf you. And you take...
He tries every exit.
You take essentially the equivalent of psychic damage, but it would be considered a wound here. So the two of you are wounded by the just anguish that is the torture that is happening all around you.
Anguish damage. Got you.
Anguish damage, yes. It's almost like it's creating like a sense in you that if we continue on, this is the end for us all.
You're gonna die, man. We're gonna die.
Game over, man.
Keep it together.
You reach what is known as the candy room, and there are no windows in this room. It is pitch black. You can...
I pull out my lighter and give us a little bit of a...
Your lighter gives yourself an ability to see a bit more into this room, and it casts shadows that cause the wall murals to frighten all of you, believing that you're seeing what is a monster, but really it is just a crudely drawn candy house with strange, what looks like eyeballs, but as you adjust in the darkness, they're just like candy rolls for the roof, and the windows, what looked like eyes, are now it's just an image of a broken down, dilapidated house through the cracking of the paint. And you see a gathering of children almost sitting for you know how they sit in a nursery reading, like being read to. They're all sitting at attention. Their backs are all to you, and a figure is in a lone chair above all of them, sitting on the floor. Do you approach?
I do.
As you do, the children kind of all turn to look at you. And some of the faces look full of red, the red Rosie that you would see in a child that is alive. And you see April there. She looks at you, but she doesn't come to you just yet. She's just kind of looking at you, expressionless, much like the other children. Some of them do look as though they are dead. You can see this undead, grayish tint to some of them. Some of them even look like their faces, their flesh is starting to rot. This is kind of a gathering of both children alive and no longer living, much like the child you saw skittering up the stairs. And in the chair, go ahead. No, I was going to say, in the chair, as you approach closer, you can see it is the gangly man. Welcome, Billy. You're just in time.
Aren't you tired of this game?
Tired? This is what I live for. You see, you think that I'm just some entity that tormented you so as a child, something that you locked away. You really think you had power over me? I have always been in control. I've just been waiting for dear little April, and he pats her head and she's just staring at you as he lurches up and is towering over these children. He's, now he's almost in his full form, 7 feet tall, gangly arms, thin and spindly, and as he hunches through the children, kind of patting them on the head, kind of pushing their heads out of the way. All of this has been going according to plan. And the only thing that we didn't intend for was you 3 being awake for it. So now you get to witness true power in its rawest form. So go ahead. Try to stop me. Try to stop us. This is something beyond your world, beyond your imagination. You are simply just food to us. And this place... this place is simply just the buffet table. So do something.
Father Marcus had a lighter, right?
Yeah.
I look back to him. I don't say it verbally, but I mouth it. I'm like, light this place on fire.
It's
I don't say it, I just mouth it.
In April? April's just in front of him.
April is still sitting with the other children. She's just, they all are much like the townsfolk when they were kind of under the spell. They're all just looking at you. Faces just emotionless, expressionless, staring.
Get her and I drop it.
You drop the lighter?
Well, no, I move up to Billy, grab her, and then I drop it.
Okay.
I walked up to the house about 7 or 8. And I run to grab April. we gotta go.
Who's attempting to grab April?
Trying to grab April.
You're gonna try to grab April? Okay. Yeah. The gangly man is going to try to snatch you as you run towards April, and he has much longer arms. So he attempts to snatch you. Now, I need you to roll reflexes to avoid harm.
This is gonna be -1 now.
Yep.
I had +2. 13?
A 13?
Yeah.
Okay. So he snatches you as you run towards April and lifts you a good 2-3 feet off the ground. And he is holding you by your neck. And you are struggling and choking as he's tightening his grip on your neck.
I tased the arm.
Yep. Okay, so for your taser... All right, let's see what happens. The taser was not blessed, though.
I don't know. Hercules taking world. He's not spiritually people. He had the crowbar hand. But...
Okay. So give me a flat 2d10 roll for your taser.
Sure. That sucks. That's a 3.
3?
Yeah.
Okay. You, where do you shove the taser? Like, is it just into his arm?
Is extended.
Yeah.
Like a...
Yeah, it's extended outwards. You are out, so you would probably only be able to reach like.
Yeah, I just tased the arm. He's just thinking.
So
man.
You go to tase the arm, and he is unbothered by this, but there are like sparks flying off of his arm, and some of the sparks land on the ground.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they light. And in the quickness, a snake of fire starts rounding itself around several of these, like the massive like poles of cement keeping the building up, and it starts sneaking off to another room. So there was some substance on the ground that was flammable. So now the flames are truly like showing like what this entity is, as it's like licking his thin spindly legs. And the children are still unmoved, but the fire is not fully blocking them at this point. It's just kind of like this long snake that is just burning off into the distance.
Is he bothered at all by the fire?
Nope.
Is the crowbar visibly glowing still?
A little.
He tries
it's definitely still warmer.
That because he's kind of just panicked moving here.
Yeah.
Tries to swing it.
Give me a 2d10.
Your daughter, we gotta go.
Give me a 2d10 for swinging the crowbar.
Better. 17.
17. Awesome. You swing it, and when you do, you kind of let it go, and it hitches and hooks right into the side of his face. And he lets out this just wail. He's like just this disgusting, like shrieking loud just wail, as like you've actually caused it damage. And he lets you go, and you drop to the floor into the flames. So do me a favor and roll me endure injury with your fortitude minus harm, which would be a -2 for the fire.
Fortitude is 1, so -1.
-2.
-2.
So -3 altogether, plus your 2d10.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, my fortitude is 1, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. So then it would be a -1 then, yep. Yep.
Cool. That's not bad. 13.
13?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm blanking out right now. Yeah, 13.
You fall into the flames and you roll, and as you do, you hear this crunching in your pocket. And that crystal alligator that you were gonna give your wife Nancy has just shattered.
Oh.
The gangly man is kind of flailing as he's trying to remove this crowbar that it's clear that it's done damage to him. Go ahead.
To shoot it in the knees.
Shoot in the knees?
Yeah.
Give me a 2d10. And actually, for aiming, add your coolness to it.
Okay.
Minus your current stability.
18.
18? Awesome. How many shots do you let out? 1 or 2?
2.
2? Okay, you let out those 2 shots. Bam, bam, right into the knees. And it obliterates his knees. They blow outwards as chunks of rotted flesh and that black inky substance that was on the dog just bleh, everywhere. And he falls. Now, his knees, you've separated his legs from his knees at this point.
Yes.
So he is on the two, what used to be his knees and legs. He falls and lurches forward, and his big arms, and he starts crawling towards the children, towards April.
Is the fire hurting him at all?
No.
Shit.
And the fire is starting to get larger and more infernoed in the next room.
I'm like, grab my daughter.
Did I get it close enough to grab her? Or?
You would still need to make your way over there, which I would need. You would need to avoid his arms, so you would have to give me a reflex to try to avoid him on the way over there.
Okay. My reflex is +2. What am I taking away from my roll?
You have a -1 or 2 stability right now.
I have stability minus. It's -1 in the section because it's 2 points.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So -1. So you do a -1 on it.
I have 2 wounds though. It says -1.
So
on,
it's -3 then.
It's -3, I guess. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So that means it's a -1 total.
Okay.
So 14.
14. Okay.
Yeah.
You manage to get closer,
Mhm.
but he grabs a hold of your ankle. And when he does, and he tightens, his fingernails dig into your flesh.
Oh.
And I need to get a roll from you to resist what he is about to do to you next. So to resist it, give me your willpower. -3.
Just -3 then. Oh, that's what that is. 9?
A 9?
Yeah.
Okay. The gangly man has now possessed you.
Oh, great.
Your eyes glaze black, and you are frozen in place. And he now has control over your body.
Oh no.
Can I try to do something that I don't think is gonna work?
Go for it.
Because one of my advantages is exorcist,
Okay.
and I would like to, sort of prick my hand on that piece of metal that I'm sort of using as a knife,
Mm-hmm.
and use some of my blood as sort of the beginnings of the ritual
Mm-hmm.
to be able to banish the gangly man.
Okay. So you would have to give me a soul roll for that.
Yeah, the roll plus soul. Okay. Chat, if you have any positives, please just throw that out there.
Blessings in chat.
Yeah, get a hype train going. I got +3.
The Pope's
I don't know.
exorcist.
Oh man. Oh, and I do have to subtract. This is my soul is +1, but since I have the serious wound and the stability, I am at -1 to whatever I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Double sixes, so that's an 11. So the creature is banished. That's a 10 to 14. The creature is banished, and I choose one option.
And your options are nobody is harmed.
Yeah, nobody's harmed. The entity will not reappear later, or the entity will not become hostile towards you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say that the entity will not reappear later.
Okay.
I'm attempting to fully banish it away, at least for the foreseeable future.
So you prick your hand with the metal you just slice your hand open.
Yeah,
And as you do, you feel this sensation within. And it's a sensation you haven't felt since your early days as a priest, as a father. You imbued with the spirit. Something you haven't felt in a long time. Something you thought that you just made up in your mind as being part of it. Like, it's just part of the job. You convince yourself so much, but this feeling starts to hit you again. And you almost feel a hand on your shoulder and a hand on your other shoulder, and as if it's kind of propelling you forward. That something is there backing you. And for the blood, it has to connect with the creature. So where are you touching the gangly man as he's holding onto Hercule's ankle?
So as Hercule, he's like sort of reaching out to grab
he's
Hercule's
reaching out to grab
ankle.
Hercule, yes.
And Hercule's like scrambling towards the child as I see something being try to move from him to Hercule.
Yeah.
I sort of put my hand right on the back of the neck, like right where what for an animal would be the scruff, but for a human it's just flat. So you just sort of put your middle finger right at the base of the skull and the rest of the palm right on the back of the neck, and just say like some words to like, "You must leave this place," and then just sort of whatever is there, just try to send it into this creature.
So you do that, and you can feel warmth from the two hands on your shoulders, and in your peripheral you can see almost like the smiling visage of Sister Delaney, and to the other side of you is a man you don't really recognize, but he is seemingly the same kind of spirit energy as Sister Delaney. And as you do this, the gangly man lets out a just freakish wail as he just melts into the concrete beneath you and disappears.
I look around. Is that really it?
Grab me.
Am I still possessed, or is it fully banished away from me?
You get released. It releases from your ankle, and your eyes kind of come back to normal. And where you just went for that brief, like 15-30 seconds before Father Marcus made his move, was a hellscape. You found yourself trapped in another world, but still seemingly in this one, surrounded by dark creatures from the unimaginable pits of hell. And as you come to, like, you are still kind of grappling with what you just witnessed on the other side.
He scrambles to a wall and kind of swinging his taser around, and then realizes where he's at, and then pockets it and runs to pick up the kid.
So you run to April?
Yeah.
Okay. April's still kind of catatonic. She's not really moving. The other children are also pretty catatonic. The undead one, like, they're all still just staring.
Yeah.
So you know that mixed in with April, there's probably about 3 or 4 other children that are alive.
Yeah.
And the rest are undead.
Well, first off, pick up April. I look in to see if the crowbar is on the ground anywhere.
The crowbar is still on the ground. It's left in kind of like the outline of what was the gangly man. Something in the next room just blows. Whatever it is, and you know, Father Marcus, you know that the boiler room was in that direction. So something in that room has just exploded, and you can hear fire and debris and all kinds of things, and that fire is starting to it's snaked in, and now more of it is starting to kind of like peel out of that room.
We need to go now.
He gives April to Mayor Billy.
Takes my daughter.
And tries to like wake up the kids. Not like shaking baby, but like kind of just
Yeah,
get up.
just kind of wake him up.
Yeah.
He's got the crowbar in hand, so he's touching the kid with the crowbar because his kid doesn't have nowhere to put it.
You tap the children with the crowbar?
Yeah, because he doesn't know how to put it. He just doesn't want to let go of it. So...
you tap. You
It's
tap.
kinda
Do you
like in
tap
his
the
hand, he
live
goes
or
like
the
that.
undead children?
Yeah.
The live. Okay, so you.
5 children first.
All right, so you
But
tap
he kind of
them.
goes down the line. He kind of doesn't immediately know who's undead or not.
So
And he's
you,
like,
you tap them, and they
Yeah.
come to, and they're freaking out. Like they're hyperventilating, crying. They don't know where they are. The undead ones, you tap them, and they just start screeching. And like a couple of them kind of like clamber around. One of them skitters up the ceiling and starts screaming at you. And you can see like all their eyes are just black, and
Why
they're
did you do that?
losing their minds. They're screeching and freaking out. And
he taps his crowbar on the ground really loud.
Mhm.
I need your attention. We need to go.
The living children are, they kind of like stand at attention and like, okay, I want my mommy, I want my mommy.
We need to go.
We're gonna get you. We're gonna get your parents. Let's go.
Yes, and I'm like, hey, you guys know me. You see me on TV. Follow me.
Give me a charisma.
$21.
Perfect. The kids kind of like, they notice you, and one of them's like, you're April's mama.
Yeah.
Okay. And they
Come
all
on.
kind of calm down. Two of them kind of go to hold your hand, Marcus. One of them kind of latches onto your leg, Hercule.
I give the one kid to Hercule because my hand's still bleeding.
Yeah.
Like it's actually like it's a weird like curved scar that's
Yeah.
just like burnt. It's actually not bleeding anymore.
No, it is not bleeding anymore.
But it's just like I can't hold
Yeah.
children
Yeah,
with
it's
this
still
hand.
raw, but it's not bleeding.
But
It's
I
kind of
had-
like a lightsaber wound.
Yeah. It's just like why am I holding a child right now? We gotta go.
Disney rules. It's a wound, but it doesn't bleed.
Yay.
You would realize that he kind of woke the kids with the crowbar some
Mhm.
kind of way. Let's
Which,
have
yes,
April?
and which April is not awake yet.
you trying to just like, I'm gonna try something. And just kind of just taps April.
You tap her on the back.
Yeah.
She like, and is just wailing.
April.
You know,
Your mom.
And she,
at her.
hmm
I'm just like, I'm here. I'm right here.
she like nestles into your neck, and she's like, I want to go home.
We're heading there. We're heading there now. Let's go, Father.
Try and find the nearest exit.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So you all bound out of the room up the stairs as the fire starts to engulf the room, and you can hear the shrieking of the undead children as they're engulfed in the flames. And you reach the main floor, and there are quite a few bodies just strewn about. It doesn't look like many have survived. You get to the entrance, and the doors are barred shut. There's like 3 or 4 people here just trying desperately to open the door.
Are the barred shut from the outside or the inside?
Can't really tell. Give me a perception or an investigation.
I will investigate. Investigate.
-2. Oh, perception -2.
I also look at Hercule and I was like, that crowbar looks like a good choice.
Seemed to work.
12.
12?
I got to investigate, right? Reasoning. So I have advantage investigator. 16, 17, 18, 18 minus 3?
Mhm.
Oh, sorry, 10.
10?
15. 15.
15? Okay.
Yeah.
You both see these vine-like tendrils that are like pulsating on the doors. The fire is starting to reach. You can hear like crumbling, like the infrastructure of the building is starting to get a little funny. And these tendrils are like beating on the door, but you can start to see as cracks are happening through the building that the tendrils are through the entire building, through the walls. And there's no way they're gonna get that door open. You can tell it's they're pulling on it at all their might. They're banging on it. They're screaming, and the door is not opening.
Runs up and says, "Move!" and then just starts hacking at the door with his crowbar, then trying to pry it open.
So
Whatever's on it.
So you're hacking at the door with the crowbar.
I'm trying to hack whatever's on it,
Yeah.
holding it back, and then just trying to.
So you're hacking away. Give me a 2d10.
Sure.
And actually, give me a roll with violence.
With violence.
Add your violence to it, because you're being pretty violent with this door.
You're-
Finally got a violence roll.
Okay. I got 11 on the die.
11?
It's -3 because wounds and stability.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sucks. It's 18. I'm not 18, 8.
8? Okay.
Yeah.
You're hacking at this door and the vines. You hack at one, it shrivels and turns to ash, but another one grows right in its place. You do get one good hit into the wood of the door, and you splinter it and crack it open, and you are able to look through the door, and what you think is supposed to be the outside of the grounds of Pennhurst. But that is not what you see through this crack. You are greeted with the same hellscape that you briefly witnessed when you were possessed by the gangly man.
Kind of just stumbles back. You can't go that way.
What do
What are
you
you
mean?
saying?
That's where we can't go that way.
Well, is there another exit, Father?
Do I know of another exit?
There would have been one through the tunnels downstairs, which is technically accessible through one laundry chute on the second floor.
So we can try that. That's gonna be rough. But if we can't go, I go to look to like see if I can see through that little hole or that crack that was
Mhm.
made.
You look through, and it is horrors beyond your imagination. You can see just this infernal hellscape before you, wailing souls, where you can't tell if the ground is people or there are people on the ground. All manner of creatures are skittering about, and give me a soul roll.
We're gonna die, man. We're gonna die. It's game over. It's like,
Minus
yeah,
one.
yeah.
All right. Ooh, 17 minus 1, so that's a 16.
16?
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing has sensed the fact that you are seeing through the veil. Nothing out through the crack knows that you're looking through.
Good.
So it doesn't seem like anything is coming for you just yet.
We gotta go now. Follow me. And I lead them
Yeah,
to the second floor, to the locker.
Even ass, just follow.
So you all follow up to the second floor. There are more bodies just hanging out of rooms. There are those undead children kind of like drinking blood out of open wounds in the bodies, just kind of like hunched over, just kind of looking at you, but they're too preoccupied with, they already have what they need.
Everybody look, kids, look at us. Only look at us. We're the only people you're going to be looking at.
He's swinging the crowbar around. If anybody gets towards him, he's just going.
You're just kind of meeting wall, like the two walls between you, but as you do, any tendrils that you touch with the crowbar do melt to ash. You reach the laundry chute, but it is only big enough for children to fit through.
I look at April. You know how to walk home, right?
Yeah?
And you remember when Mom told you if you ever got lost to head to that station right out on the edge of the forest?
Yeah.
Can you lead the kids there? We just have a few things to take care of.
You're not coming?
We're coming.
We're coming. Just you head first.
I don't... Give me a charisma. And you get a +1 because it's your daughter.
Okay. 17.
Perfect. Okay, Mommy. I have to be brave now, don't I?
Yes, super brave. And whatever you want for Christmas this year, you're definitely going to get it. And quick question, where is the dogs with us or is the dog gone?
Dog is with you guys. Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, take Candy with you. He'll make you brave.
She like gathers the dog in her arms. Okay.
Okay, go ahead, kids, go.
And one by one, you pop them into the laundry chute and send them down, hoping that they make their way out, not knowing what lies ahead for them. You're left alone in this hallway as undead children are feasting on the flesh and fluids, the bodies around you. And it's all that you can hear. It's just this evil ASMR. And you can hear the clicking of heels approaching you down the hall. That was so very brave. You turn and you all see at first the same nun that you saw before. But give me another soul roll for all of you.
$19.
Well, no, 11.
11?
Yeah.
Would have been 12. I got a 7.
7? Okay. Hercule, you see just a nun in front of you. And you've experienced so much trauma these last few hours, moments. You just are even though it is the visage of a nun, it is still terrifying to you. Marcus and Billy, you see this large, spindly like the gangly man, but a woman who's just drenched in blood and long razor-like fingers. She says to you, I will reward your bravery. You've shown your mettle as humans. The children will live. But you three, and she whips her arm, and the three of you are thrust up against the walls. You three will remain for all eternity. Your children will mourn, the people who love you will miss you, and they will never know.
Mayor, father, you got something? Do something if you got something. I'm not.
I would like to make a deal.
A deal?
Yeah.
And she smiles, and the smile kind of like engulfs her face like all the way up. What kind of deal?
That my soul.
The
Father?
soul of a holy man.
Don't do it. Do not.
Let all these people go. Let this town go.
Looks around. The place is clearly got to be engulfed in flames at this point.
It's starting to reach y'all. Like, it's going up the stairs. Like, there's crumbling, glass shattering. Like, it's the, you're not going to get out of this room. Or this hall.
You
I'm like,
got a daughter to look after.
Yeah.
I knew your dad, and I'm guessing you have a family. Me, I just got the Lord, so.
Look at this place. I look down at the nun. If you were really as powerful as you claim to be, would you really need Pennhurst?
Pennhurst is the key for those of my world to make use of your world. Think of it like a station. And whatever souls are trapped here, whatever souls find their way into its walls, we will always find a way to satiate ourselves. We feed not only off of you, but off of this building. We need Pennhurst. We need to keep you and your kind in line. So, the soul of a holy man. That is quite delicious.
Father, do not do it.
Right, so I don't do it. We all die.
Yes,
Tick-tock.
we all die, but so does Pennhurst.
Well, pressed against it, like, can't move.
You can't move. You are becoming one with the wall. Like, you can feel the skin on the back of your head and your back and legs that is just fusing with the wall. And it's burning.
If I don't do this, they will utilize this place, whether it be ashes or whether it be a full building after it gets burnt to the ground to wreak havoc. You take me, and you don't have to do all that. You could feed on me for centuries.
That
You
does
know that.
sound delightful.
Would the
Deal.
lullaby
Hmm?
before you say that,
Mm-hmm.
would the lullaby work on the nun?
You want to try it?
Yes, before you say anything, Father.
Give me... Give me a willpower. No. Act under pressure. Give me coolness. And actually... Yeah, go ahead. Just a coolness.
Funny.
You muster what control you have left, and you begin to sing the lullaby. And she turns her attention to you and shoves her hand up against your mouth with her like razor fingers kind of like digging into the flesh of your cheeks. But as you continue to hum it, it almost like burns her hand, so she kind of like recoils backwards. Yes. So
Mahomes
that's
joins
why
her in the
he was so interested in you. She kind of looks at you inquisitively.
I keep saying the lullaby, but louder and louder.
Mahomes joins in.
Okay. Where's my die? Okay. You're singing it, and the tendrils around you are starting to like weaken and loosen, and you can feel yourselves kind of like peeling off the wall a bit. But it starts, the building itself, now it's just one building, it's not all of Pennhurst that's burning, and it's just this one building that you're in. The walls are starting to crack, and it's shaking, and debris is falling from the ceiling, and she is getting, you can tell like she's getting more and more like angry and upset, but it's almost like a fearful thing, and she finally is, "Give me your soul, Marcus, and these two may leave."
Are we falling off the wall at this point?
Now, they are. You are not.
I'm like, join us, Father.
They can sing their little lullaby. They can break themselves free, but it won't stop us. We will always have Pennhurst. We will always make children suffer.
Imagine a holy man singing a lullaby. Come on, Father.
And she reaches a hand out to yours, Marcus, and her hand is just above yours, and you can feel your arms are kind of being released a bit from the walls.
To fall down, to like my arms are being released to grab her hand.
To shake her hand, essentially.
So, and is the wall cracking around me?
Yours is not cracking. Like,
well,
you're still like, it's cracking around you, but you're still essentially attached to this wall. It's just enough that your arms have been released.
All right, so my hands have always been with the palms faced to the wall.
Mm-hmm.
As it releases,
mm-hmm.
the scar opens again,
mm-hmm.
and I start saying the lullaby to grab her hand. And I'm going to try to exorcise her.
Okay, give me a soul.
If it works, she goes away. If it doesn't work, I will keep her inside of me and die here.
Let's go. Let's go. Final roll.
Let's see what happens, chat. This is plus soul, so this is at -1.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh. Yeah. That would be 5 plus 9, which is 14, -1, 13. The creature is banished, and I choose one option.
Okay.
And as I grab her hand and am reciting the lullaby, and I sort of just fall into her and do no harm. We have to protect killers. We have to protect children. And I'm going to choose that no one is harmed during the ritual.
Okay. You do this, and it's almost like this just warm white light just emanates from between the two of you, and it blows out, and none of you can see. It's completely blinded you all. You can hear her shrieking as it kind of like dissipates, and you all lose consciousness. You are awoken, however, by the sound of April. Mommy? Mommy?
April?
And you all kind of like open your eyes, and you are strewn about in a field on like the edge of Crab Hill. Mommy, wake up, please. And the other children are kind of like trying to wake you guys up. It's dawn of the next day, and as you kind of come to, you can see the smolders and the smoke of the building that burned to the ground.
Is
it Pennhurst's?
You're still at Pennhurst. One of the buildings had burned down. You're kind of on the edge, essentially at the exit of one of the tunnels.
So, because it's one of those buildings, would it be a situation to where if the fire isn't put out, it would catch to other buildings?
Yes. Okay, yeah. So the building that you were in has been smoldering, but you notice that other buildings are smoldering too. Some are still on fire. You can hear the excuse me, the sound of fire trucks and police and, you know, the emergency vehicles as they're attempting to put the fire out. So in the distance, it looks like Pennhurst is crumbling and essentially dying.
I like shoot up, like stand up really quick to my feet. I'm like, stay here, April. And I run towards Pennhurst and use my mayor duties to tell them to stop the emergency facilities to save the building.
Okay. Give me charisma. And we are essentially at the end here, so we'll do
17.
some final 17. Perfect. So you run up and you're like, stop all of this right now. Confused, they stop putting out the flames, and they all just kind of stare as the buildings continue to burn and crumble and fall.
To the open that door we were trying to get out originally. I try to run over there and just like break the window or just break it open as the fire blows out or whatever.
You try to, but I mean that building is gone.
That building's gone.
Yeah, that building's already gone. Whoever was left inside is either in
Done.
the flames or on another plane of existence.
Yeah.
So seemingly you think it's over. You think that what's left will burn, but there are a few buildings left on campus that aren't close enough to burn. And what happens to them will remain a mystery, because this is the conclusion for you all. We could do a light epilogue, I guess. Epilogue. That, you know, as you're getting help from emergency vehicles and such, you know, getting medical attention, little April is staring up at the window of one of the buildings that remains. And before we fade to black, you see her smile cheerfully and wave at somebody up in the window. And that is the end of KULT Divinity Lost, Suffer the Little Children.
Father Marcus no longer has a massive scar on his right hand. He can barely use it.
Yep, that hand's done.
Gnarly.
Fade to Obsidian, I love that. Thank you all for being here. We can go around and all of you can kind of deliver a final, like, where we find, you know, like where everybody ends up, those final credits of what happens to our three heroes. So let's go around and let's start actually with Hercule Mahomes.
Hercule will go back to his family. He will pack away his father's things in the trunk and all his notes and focus on trying to be there for his family. But he'll always seem to he'll go to church more and seem to be a more family and church-oriented man.
I mean, if that even matters in this world, but it matters to you.
So he'll not smoke, but he'll always have a pack in his pocket. And he will seem to always carry that crowbar wherever he goes. Have it hung up on the wall somewhere.
His magic crowbar. Blessed be the crowbar. Awesome. And give us who you are, where folks can find you, and any cool stuff you've got coming up.
Res Monk on the most places, or Samurai Walker X on other places. And you can find me on Twitch, Twitter, or whatever the hell that's called now.
The app formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah, Instagram and Facebook's. I think Facebook and Instagram. No, Instagram. And yeah, Facebook and Instagram. No, there you go. Instagram is Samurai Walker X. Facebook and Twitter is the Resmonk. And then I think I have both on Twitch. I just don't use Resmonk. It's Samurai Walker X. But we'll be doing a thing next month. We may run some games. Stay tuned.
Yes, stay tuned. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Anything else you wanted to add?
Good. Stay awesome.
Okay, awesome. Hell yeah. All right. And Tranquil Ashes, our Billy Robinson. What happens to Miss Billy and her daughter after?
Um, Billy and her daughter, she has a very long conversation with her daughter about what went down, what happens, what she actually was seeing. And I have given the executive order to um, wall off Pennhurst. So, and as of right now, she keeps, much like Mahomes, her trusty pistol by her side.
Awesome. Pistol packing mama. Let's go.
Pistol pocket. I guess Tranquil Ashes on everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, kind of. And I'll probably be at KatsuCon. So if you see me,
Oh, I'll be there.
hi. And in terms of future projects, the Cost Gala is back again this year. It'll be October 5th, so stay tuned about more info about that.
Amazing. Thank you. Anything else you want to add?
Oh,
awesome. All right. Our Father Marcus, ex-Father Marcus, though, would you return to the cloth? Let's find out.
This is gonna be a pain. Honestly, I think he would go back to probably would start his own like smaller church instead of going back to the ones he went to. Knowing that he will have at least a couple of members of high society that will give it some notoriety. It's a different type of sermon that he gives though. One where it's just like it's very less of, oh, here's what the book says, here's what being preached, and here's how we do good. Here's how we help people. We keep looking out for each other. Do better. Do as good as you can, as much good as you can. And if you see bad, try to stop it if you can. Be safe though. Don't be stupid. But yeah, just try to, but with the full knowledge that there is other things out there that we may not have control over. But do the best you can. Right?
That's good.
But that said, what's up, everybody? I am Robert Madison II, Mad Dr. Rob on the everywheres. I am, other than being your ex-father, Marcus Hill, I am Obsidian Brews humble map maker. So you can catch me here on various Mondays with Monday Maps with me, Mad Dr. Rob, where I make battle maps and other types of TTRPG maps. So you can hang out with me there. I got some cool stuff coming up soon. You'll see lots of posts. Like got cool stuff, Obsidian Brews stuff that we're going to be doing where you can play some games with us. That's happening. We're getting that all situated. So this happening. Keep eyes on the socials. It's going to be dope.
Yes, pay attention to those socials.
And also got some cool stuff where if you caught some of my stuff with Queen Court Games, well, if you Queen Court Gaming, go back over there, watch Problem Hellfighters Never Die. That was awesome. All those heads are dope. Follow them on the Twittergrams and TikToks and all the places. But it seems like we may be getting back together to do something else.
Ooh.
So keep your eyes on the socials during February for some coolness. Because things may be happening. And other than that, these wonderful people are going to be out places. Keep an eyes out for them wherever we may be. And if we happen to be at a con near you, come say hi. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Anything else for you, Rob?
Anything else? Do good out there in the world, please.
It's hard enough.
Yeah. So we're going to be the force for good. I appreciate if you can help.
Fantastic. Thank you all. So to speak on what happens to this world into the next century, the creatures and the darkness of the world beyond continue to prey on the unsuspecting humans until the old gods are replaced by new gods, gods of technology, gods of artificial intelligence, gods of opulence, of influencers. And so the tides continue to change and the otherworldly creatures continue to feed on the creatures of this world. But during that time, Marcus, Hercule, and Billy and their families are seemingly left alone to enjoy the rest of their lives in bliss. Or is it? Well, hey, I am Bendy Mitchell. I have been your story master here this evening. I can be found on the app formerly known as Twitter as Bendy Dinosaurs and on Instagram as Bendy Mitchell. Excuse me. OB is gonna, like Rob said, have a bunch of really cool stuff coming out, so please pay attention to those socials. We're working on building stuff up more, and if you are interested in being a part of OB and doing cool streams like this and helping us advance the cause, please join our Discord. Say hi to us. We could use some more folks to help us make these even bigger and better, and to get more Black tabletop players in these seats and in front of viewers like you. So we are Obsidian Brews. For me personally, next month, I'm going to be running a few games known as Operation Snow Globe through the PIP system, which was created by Eloy Lasanta, the first Black game designer to win the Ennies, right? Ennies. Yeah. Those cool awards like the Oscars of gaming. Yeah, that kind of stuff. So we're using the PIP system. It's a D6 system, and we're going to be doing Operation Snow Globe, which is a horror found footage type story about astronauts on a secret moon mission in 1979. So stay tuned. That'll be happening. But for everyone else, thank you so much for being here. Next month is Black History Month. So not just that month, but every month, support your friends in this space that are persons of color and beyond. I love you all. I really appreciate you for being here. Thank you, and I hope you have a good night. And bye-bye.